I was staying with a friend whose living situation wasn't safe for my son and I to be there. It just wasn't right. My aunt that lives in Louisiana said that she would help me with my son while I go to school. And after a few months of being there, she died unexpectedly. I called my friend to kind of vent or whatever, and she offered for my son and I to come and stay with her here in Seattle. I packed our things, 2 suitcases in a box, our life, got on the train, and moved up here. My friend's boyfriend was selling one drug and doing another, and I began to notice like traffic in and out the house. And at first I just thought that it was just a busy house, just their friends. And then I just noticed the type of people that was coming out, and it just made me nervous and afraid to sleep for fear of them getting robbed or the police coming in and taking all of us. Whether I knew what was going on or not, I knew that all the adults would go to jail and the kids would get taken. I had to figure out how to get out that situation. We leave early in the morning and come back late at night just to rest. So I felt like I put me and my son in a compromising situation, and I kind of felt bad, like irresponsible. It was just scary. I didn't know what to expect from one minute to the next.
I lost my job with no notice, just got laid off, so my whole world right there kind of turned upside down. And the gentleman I lived with, he wasn't always the nicest guy. Every day I was on eggshells from when I'd get up to when I come home from work. I didn't know what kind of mood he was going to be in, whether he was going to just be attacking me or if it was going to go towards the kids now. It was one thing to be that way to me, but not my children. So we just packed everything up and we left. Spending the night in the car with my children was the most terrifying thing you can ever think of. Not knowing where we were going to be able to park to even stay, and if where we would stay, is it a safe place? You don't sleep. I try and make it as most comfortable for my kids as possible. I would hope no one to be in that situation. I'm sorry, that was the hardest thing ever because I have never not been able to take care of my children.
I was what you called a house hopper, and I didn't have my son for 2 years. Being homeless is awful. I mean, you're living with a backpack and, or just all your things are in your car. And sometimes you don't know where to go, so I would just go to a Safeway parking lot and sit there just trying to figure out what my next move was. I hated it. I hated being homeless, and I hated being without my son.
As a mom, I knew that it was nothing that I did to get in that situation. It's tough because your kids depend on you, They depend on you to keep a roof over their head, to feed them, to keep them safe. When my son and I came to Vine Maple Place, it was a sense of relief. I felt like I can breathe. I felt like I was on the right track to getting my life back in control. I say it's God because I don't remember filling out any papers for Vine Maple Place, but I remember one day I got a call, and that's how the process started.
My children's academics they weren't doing good in school. Coming back into the Vine Maple program, their grades went up. They were A's and B's instead of D's and F's. They became more lighthearted, believing in themselves, happy, smiling again. That was the big thing, is to see them smile, actually genuinely be happy and smile again.
My son, I think he gained his voice. He was very shy. He learned a lot about the Bible. He learned how to ride a bike here. We've gained so much being here at Vine Maple Place. He's learned things as a child that I've never learned.
I just knew it was time to have my son back with me. I had been really working on myself and my life. I knew that I needed structure. Every Tuesday night, we get together as a group. Within those classes, I have learned how to be a better mother. I learned how to talk to my children, and I learned how to make a budget. I learned to have a savings. I learned to have an emergency fund.
It was a sense of being safe. We were happy. felt loved and welcomed. My life now is more stable. I have a job. I have my own apartment. It's been great. I believe that this was the best choice that I've made in my life.
Moving out on our own, it was scary. I wasn't sure if I could do it. I'm on the road to being on my own again. I'm grateful for the things and the struggles we have been through because we wouldn't become the people that we are today.
I now know that I can do things. I'm strong enough that I deserve it, and I know that I always have the program to help me if I need help.
Ryan Maple Place helping us to keep our home, allowed us to keep our family together. God sent us here. He allowed us to be here for a reason. I'm grateful for the opportunity just to be a part of this place.